I'd check his phone again and again. He would be sexting with random dudes. We're gay, obviously. If you caught your partner sexting, would you consider it cheating? Would it break the trust? Why or why not? Cheating is a betrayal of your partner's trust, loyalty, emotions, feelings, etc. When I was cheated on, this is what hurt the most. Not that she was sleeping with someone else, but that someone whom I gave all my love and trust to found it so easy to throw it away and lie to my face. Girlfriend was cheated on twice in 2 previous relationships before we got together. Can confirm the legitimate but very serious trust issues she had coming in. She grilled me the first time she saw me texting my sister, who's married and has a different last name. She was super nervous the first time she showed up at my place unannounced with soup and Dayquil because I was feeling sick. That time I threw all the pillows off the bed to fold laundry and forgot to remake it. It takes a long time to build up trust again. I love her and it's worth it. But a lot of times I felt like I was paying for the other guy's mistakes. Being the one who suffered from the breach of trust prior to my current relationship, I like the metaphor of there being a small demon whispering in my ear all the bad stuff my partner could be doing. The logical part of my brain knows it isn't true, but those whispers can sometimes be hard to ignore. I have really bad anxiety about my relationship due to past trauma. My boyfriend does this as well and he's gotten very good at it. He'll prematurely tell me we're okay / nothing is wrong, and I'll be like, well duh, we're okay. And then 8 hours later my brain is like, what if, and it's much easier to shut it down. He already gave me reassurance and affirmation. Honestly, partners who are patient and are willing to work with those of us with anxiety and trauma are the real MVPs, and I adore all of you. I've had 5 girlfriends total, including the one I'm with now. I was cheated on by all of them, except my current partner, who is totally different from the others. After I finally dumped my high school sweetheart for like the 20th time she cheated on me, I carried those trust issues to my other relationships, and it's probably what pushed some of them away in the first place. If you're with someone who has major trust issues and emotional problems from being cheated on, yes, please give them time to heal. But if they're constantly hounding you and accusing you of fooling around and they never learn to trust you fully, it's just not worth it for either of you. My BF and I have been together for 20 years, and these issues still come up occasionally. In the beginning, he was extremely suspicious of my male friends, my coworkers, literally any male I spoke to. I was patient and understanding, but after a while, it just got exhausting. I sat him down and explained that if he couldn't trust me when I had given him no reason not to, then we couldn't be together. He tried to give me the line of I trust you but I don't trust them. I told him if he trusted me that it wouldn't matter. He got better, but he still has moments of questioning things like who a person on my Facebook is. He has however learned to accept I don't know, but he posts funny memes as a legit answer. My last girlfriend was like this too. She had been cheated on constantly in the previous relationship and was open to how damaging it was to her. Couldn't have been too bad though, because of 3 years later, after being a model boyfriend, she cheated on me. My current relationship is exactly the same as yours. I was in your GF's shoes and my fiancé, in yours. We had a rough start because of my severe trust issues, but that was 4 years ago. Because he was determined to stay with me, he tried his best to help me in every way. I can safely say that I no longer have my trust issues anymore, and it makes me super thankful to have met such a great guy. I'm sure in time to come, your girlfriend will feel the same way too. Thank you for being so patient and understanding. My man was cheated on by his first girlfriend, who was his first love. It did a number on him, but I've had a wonderful time telling and proving to him how amazing he is and how fucking stupid that girl was. What killed me is he used me to scapegoat to gain their sympathy, to bag them. I'd fed him, kept a roof over his head when his own parents wouldn't, and here he was badmouthing me to some stranger to get in their pants. I've still not dated since that relationship and don't know if I ever will, and I feel like I could be so good to someone. It just seems useless. My morals don't align with betrayal in any fashion, and that seems to be the norm. Consensual nonsense is one thing, but be upfront about it and don't be scummy about it. Abusive people get some sick kick out of duping their loyal significant other for whatever reason. I never had a family, so I put being someone's partner right up there with family. I don't mean casual dating, I mean past that stage. I will not even vent about a partner in a negative way or treat them in any way but with kindness. I want a partner to feel loved and be full upon feeling wanted. I won't do anything away from them that I wouldn't do in front of them. Yet, both serious relationships I've been in, was married to one and had children. I've killed myself to take care of them and love them. BC I want to, and both of them cheated and ended up being cruel. I have done a ton of self-work BC of the whole someone raised in abuse ends up being attracted to abusive partners, so on one hand, I'm scared of my own judgment, and on the other, I have quite a few friends and every single person seems to do things outside of their partner's view that I feel is disingenuous. That just makes me even more paranoid that what I'd like to have is outside of the scope of possibility. Then I get mad at myself BC I think maybe I'm holding people to too high of a standard, but then I always circle back around too, but I do it for them, gladly, and would do it the same if I had to do it all over again BC they're supposed to be that important to me. Do I make sense, even? Not necessarily. My ex was a sweetheart who would never purposefully cheat on anyone. But, she had severe trust issues due to previous relationships and always wanted to see and know about what was going on in my life which was very exhausting and resulted in me lying or hiding things just to avoid conflict and big arguments. Something so simple as me going out with my colleagues after work had her worrying for days. For sure. Emotionally cheating is just as damaging as physical cheating. I found emotional cheating hurt more than physical cheating. Happened to me and what made it worse was that he didn't think it was cheating because he didn't have sex, kiss, or even hold hands. Without any physical involvement yet you were still willing to spend so much time with her and kept it a secret from me. To me, it sounded like love. His defense was that he thought I would be jealous, which did not make any sense as I knew all his exes and even became friends with the one he was still in touch with. He never admitted that they were interested in each other but were only friends. They got together 3 months after we broke up. So, I've been friends with this guy for a decade, he's been dating this woman, who I was also close friends with, for the last 5 years. I've been with my partner for the last 10 years. We're all on a group vacation, and my guy friend and I are having a drunken heart-to-heart. We hugged each other before going back to the party. His girlfriend decides that the hug lingered for a little too long. This one expression of platonic love spirals out of control, intensifies all of these insecurities I wasn't aware of. She tells him that her definition of cheating is engaging in any sort of contact with another female that makes her uncomfortable because it betrayed her trust and security in the relationship. He tried to respect what she said in an effort to smooth things over. The narrative is now that he cheated on her with me. There is an entire adjacent social circle to me that thinks I slept with my friend over a hug, and it's because of everyone's definition of cheating and the purposeful vagueness of the term at this point. Am I in the wrong for thinking I got shortchanged here? Or am I accurately considered the other woman now because a hug betrayed her feelings? I broke up with my ex because he sexted someone else and some people didn't understand and I failed to come up with the proper words for it. This is exactly how I feel but I just haven't been able to put it into words. But I've had a problem advocating for myself on this very topic in the past. My ex-fiancé, together 10 years, had a host of issues including alcoholism and low self-esteem, and these issues began to worsen over the time we were together. It started with him being drunk at family and friend functions and hitting on members of my family or close circle of friends. Then it progressed to him being drunk most nights, sitting on the opposite end of the couch from me and being very secretive with his phone. I got suspicious, learned his password and would wait for him to fall asleep before I'd check his phone. Again and again, he would be sexting with random dudes, we're gay, obviously, and telling them we were in an open relationship when we were always monogamous. I would wake him up, we would fight, and he would always end up a crying mess going on an apology tour the next day. The thing he didn't understand was that every time he did this it was like plunging a dagger into the heart of our relationship. I built up so much resentment towards him that I lost all attraction or romantic love I'd ever felt towards him. I left him over 2 years ago now, and while it was the scariest thing I'd ever done I do not regret it. I'd also never let another guy treat me so terribly again. I know my worth and won't beg the next guy I'm with for his attention. I left my last partner about 2 years ago for very similar reasons. We had been open, briefly, which served my ex well and didn't impact me at all. My ex was the one who decided to close things again and I was relieved. But then we couldn't hold a serious conversation without my ex looking at something on their phone, and I noticed notifications from hookup apps. My ex would start going out at night, leaving the Craigslist ads up on my laptop for me to find. It wasn't going to stop, so I left. To this day, my ex insists that sexting and sending nudes to strangers wasn't cheating. Or that, while they made plans to meet people at the local bathhouse, nothing really happened. All this to say, I know something about this particular pain, and it makes me sad to see that you had to go through it. Hopefully, it hurts less these days and you've been able to move on well. I dated girls that were always about sexting. And it's just weird. Like there's so much pressure about what you're going to do next in this hypothetical fantasy thing. And it's just so weird. Then if you don't say the right things they get all upset because you aren't into it. Well, sorry Kristen, I'm in a meeting and it's kinda hard and stupid to talk about pinning you against the wall while I'm looking at our distribution rep Tom. Sounds like emotional cheating to me, and it's hard not to physically cheat when your mind is already moving in that direction. Yes, it counts as cheating. I've always thought emotional cheating to be worse than sexual cheating, personally. A one-night stand or a night with a prostitute is obviously bad, but building an emotional connection with someone takes a lot more time than hey, she's hot, I'd like to stick my dick in that. I tolerated my ex emotionally cheating on me for a while and she eventually physically cheated. But the lost trust and fallout from the emotional cheating was way worse than just the simple breakup that resulted from her sleeping with my roommate. Her emotional cheating broke me and turned me into a toxic, clingy, and manipulate boyfriend. Thankfully my current girlfriend is great and has greatly helped me break free of those issues, but still, the point stands. Emotionally cheating is so much worse than just doing it with somebody you shouldn't. Of course, it is cheating. Just a matter of time for it to manifest itself in real life. My ex did this. She said it had started only a few days prior, but she had already sent this guy online nudes with her face. She said he was married and she didn't know where he lived. She told me she was glad I had found out before it went any further. I was just thinking, how could it have gone any further beyond you sending him nudes with your face? If you wouldn't do it sitting next to them, you shouldn't do it. That's how you know there is something wrong with what you are doing. This is how I caught my ex the first time. I was playing GTA 4 and just so happened to glance at his laptop screen as he sat right fucking next to me on the damn couch and saw his sex to several strangers. The desire to even do that with other people instead of me shows me that you aren't committing to the relationship. I once had a girlfriend tell me she hooked up with another girl and that it didn't count because it was a girl. She said I was free to hook up with as many guys as I want, but I'm not big, so you can imagine the very weird spot this put me in. Broke up with her right then and there. My ex decided she was polyamorous all of a sudden when she got a crush on a guy from work. Apparently, massages and making out at his place doesn't count as cheating because it wasn't sex. It was a pretty great few months while I tried to convince myself I needed to leave her, all while battling depression over a 6-year relationship being over suddenly. 0-10 wouldn't recommend. Anything you have big enough to hide is cheating emo. The act itself makes you feel shit enough, but it's the total disrespect and breaking of trust that really hurts the most. The respect thing is pretty important. And my girlfriend, I was talking about this the other day. Cheating is one thing, it's bad enough to do it, but if you don't respect them enough to tell them afterward, it's worse in my opinion. People might say they want to protect their partner, but I think it's bullshit. Either you don't actually care about them or you don't respect them enough to make the decision to forgive you or not themselves. I would argue that any behavior that makes your partner feel cheated on constitutes cheating. I know that sounds general and abusable, but I would argue it can only be abused if you don't push your boundaries. So let's say you enjoy porn but your partner views that as cheating. You can either find a new partner who is more comfortable with it or you can stop watching porn. That's easier said than done in some circumstances, but that's the essence of a relationship anyway. On the flip side, if your partner is totally fine with you sexting other people so long as it doesn't lead to anything more than that, would not be cheating. Yes. Sharing intimacy is what makes it cheating. It's the same reason why if your partner is in some stage production play and the script calls for them to kiss another actor, it's not cheating. There's no intimacy. You can have a physical act that would be otherwise cheating, but if there's zero intimate intent, it cannot be cheating. But even the exchange of a few words over text is cheating if there's intimate intent. Caught my wife sexting 5 years ago. She packed all of her stuff and kicked her out. A few weeks later she tells me she is pregnant and that I am the only one she had sex with. 5 years later I'm raising my son and arguing with her just about every day. There is not a lot I've been able to put into the relationship since that. Thank you for watching Reddit Space. Please subscribe if you love these Reddit stories.